What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Once again, back here on Madden 26 here with another realistic rebuild, and today we're going to be doing a team that's actually on the rise right now, that being the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are a team that I think a lot of us had mild expectations for. Bryce Young showed a lot of promise last year. They got off to a slow start, but right now they find themselves at 7-6 with a possibility of still making the playoffs this year. So let's go ahead and jump in and rebuild the Carolina Panthers realistically in Madden 26 and find out if Madden believes this team can make the playoffs at the end of this season. I do apologize if I sound like crap. I am recording this pretty early in the morning. Unfortunately, this is the only time I did have time to do this, but with that all being said, let's go ahead and take a look at this Panthers team. So obviously, Bryce Young has once again showed why he is a starter in this league. Sometimes he's really on, and then sometimes I feel like he's kind of off. So I still don't really know how to feel about Bryce Young, but I do want to keep him as the quarterback throughout this video. Rico Dowdle has obviously shown a lot of promise since coming over from Dallas, so I do think he is someone that the Panthers need to keep. In fact, they've, honestly gone towards Rico Dowdle more than they have Chuba Hubbard. I do believe they both had like similar carries their last game, but yeah, Rico Dowdle has been awesome for the Panthers. McMillan, of course, is a great rookie. He's had a pretty good rookie season, and there is some good things on the defensive side of the football as well, but this team definitely needs some more. JC Horn's having a great season, but yeah, if you're a Panthers fan, it probably has to feel pretty good to be where you're at right now at 7-6. They have a chance to either win a division or meet a wildcard team. It looks like divisional is going to be the easier way to do it, but we'll see kind of what happens. So they're on a bye right now. Let's go ahead and assimilate to the end of this season, and let's see if this team sneaks into the playoffs or not. So at the end of year one, we did in fact make it into the playoffs. In fact, we lost to the Bucks in week 18, which you would think would be like a big game for both teams, but it looks like we already locked the division up. Wow, we do have a bunch of injuries going in this playoff game, but yeah, we beat the we finished the division at 10-7 while the Bucks finished the season at 8-9. So very unfortunate for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it is a possibility, like I said, that the Panthers win their division. So 10-7 gets us a playoff game, home playoff game, in fact, as we get to play the Rams. And the Panthers did just upset the Rams, which was pretty wild because the Rams are the best team in the NFL, arguably. If you wanted to make the case, I would understand. So looking at the stats, offensively 24th in the NFL, so nothing special. Defensively, we're 14th. So you had 24-11 from Bryce Young. You had 8 touchdowns and 12 yards from Rico Dowdle, which is awesome. McMillan in his rookie season, 1,007 touchdowns. Leggett 480. Defensively, sacks-wise, you had 5.5 from Derek Brown, 4.5 from Nick Scorton, the rookie, and 3.5 from DJ Wanham. And interceptions, he had 6 from JC Horn. Like I said, he's had a pretty good season so far, and it looks like he added on to it a little bit more. So let's go ahead and play this game against the Rams and see if we can beat them again. I'm sure the Rams will be looking for some revenge here, so this should be a very tough game, but hopefully we're up for the challenge. So a home playoff game does feel good if you are a Panthers fan. If this does end up transpiring in real life, that would be a lot of great signs to come, hopefully, for this franchise in the future, because since Cam Newton, they've been kind of a laughing stock in a way. I mean, their owner has just made some weird stuff happen, but hey, everything is about football right now for this team, and that's a good thing. So it's 7-0, and we are only down 7 right now. The Rams are getting stopped by our defense quite a bit, but our offense isn't doing much either. Still, only a one possession game. Can we ever go score? We're gonna get absolutely shut down in the playoffs here. And no, we cannot put up any points so far. I mean, we've had multiple chances at interception on their own 28, I believe, and we finally tied at the very end to force overtime. The Rams are gonna go up 10-7. I would jump in, but it's so early in this video that I don't even think it's necessary, so I'm gonna let it happen. Do we go down and go put up 14 to win this game? Or I guess we don't have to put up 13 or 6 points. You get the point. All right, we finally scored at the very end. So can we score again here in OT? No, we cannot. So our offense did look really rough in that game, I'm not gonna lie. So that is not good. So I do think we need to make sure we do some things there. I'm gonna try to keep the playbooks the same going to year 2, but man, was that a rough showing in the postseason for us. I would have loved to have seen more points there because we could have easily won that game. So at the end of the season, the Seahawks and the Broncos met up in the Super Bowl, but this time the Seahawks actually beat the Broncos. So DeMarcus Lawrence is your Super Bowl MVP. CMC won Offensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett's your DPOY. Ashton Jeanty is your Offensive Rookie, and Defensive Rookie goes to Carson Schwarzenegger. And MVP Josh Allen, and Coach of the Year Mike Vrabel. So kind of weird because I don't think Josh Allen's winning MVP this year, obviously. Coach of the Year to Vrabel makes a lot of sense. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player, makes sense. Jeanty, I'm not really sure if he would be Offensive Rookie, although I can't confidently say I can think of another one at the top of my head. I'm probably blanking on somebody pretty obvious. Maybe McMillan could win it, basically. So let's take, or Ibuka in a way. So we already looked at stats. We don't need to do that. So let's just get straight in re-signing stage. So we know we only put up 7 points in the playoffs, and it didn't come till the very end of the fourth quarter. So I mean, a lot of things are going to be a focus this offseason because I don't even feel really good about our defense yet. There's some players here, but we definitely got to do more. So Rico Dowdle to me is a must re-sign. Had a great season with Carolina, so there's no need to let him walk. Iquanu is our left tackle. I know we were pretty injured and banged up going to this playoffs as well, so that's something to keep in mind. Bryce Young, I think we accept the 5th-year option on him. We'll be interested if the Panthers do that. I don't know if they've made that decision already. I don't think they have. Jalen Coker, I'm going to try to bring back as well, but I do want to go after a better wide receiver either through the draft or free agency. Taylor Moton, 32 years old. Yeah, I'm going to look to bring him back if he wants to come back. He is going to come back. And then anybody else that we want to go after, I don't think so. I think we're going to let the rest of these guys walk and hit free agency. So that gives us about $50 million if you round up with what we have left to spend. So first free agency class isn't usually anything special, so not really sure I expect much here, but let's take a look to see what we look like. So obviously interior of the offensive line needs some work, although Robert Hunt is hurt, so that actually is another we can get. So it's basically the center position we need to upgrade. Leggett is a fine wide receiver 3, but I prefer if he wasn't our wide receiver 2. And then tight end, you could, make an argument that like we could go get one. And then Brooks, I forgot about Brooks. He could be interesting too on this equation. But maybe we can go get Isaiah Likely if he's in free agency, since the Ravens might be letting him walk. Then D tackle Tershawn Ward once he's healthy, that'll help out the D line. Anybody else? And then corners, like JC Horn's awesome. We do have Morig. We do have a strong safety, but definitely need to address more of the linebacker positions, like big time. So that's definitely the biggest thing, is get some linebackers on this team. So let's hit up free agency and see if there's anything like that we can get. Another thing, is there any obvious like guys that we should just cut away and maybe go away from them? No, not really. I mean, Sean Robinson, I guess, would give us another $8.5 million. So I'm going to go ahead and release him, and that's going to be the only thing we do. So let's go see if there's something else in free agency for us. So unfortunately, kind of as I expected, this free agency class is nothing special, but there's a couple guys I'm going after here. I'm hoping to land Jaquan Brisker to get our strong safety position addressed. He's an 85 overall with a 27-year, or he's 27. I don't know why I was about to say it the way I did, but the 49ers are in on him as well, which hopefully we can beat them out for. And I'm just trying to get a bridge starting center if I can. So Brisker, please choose Carolina. That would really help out a ton. He's going to take it into day 2. And does he choose us? No, he does not. Okay, so that's kind of unfortunate. There was some other strong safeties. So Quentin Lake, I guess, isn't bad. Probably the next guy we're going to go after because I want to get that addressed. So Quentin Lake has no offers. He is from the Rams, but I guess he'll be a little bit cheaper. So we should get him to be our new strong safety next to Morig. He's going to take it into the next day as well. Very interesting. Same age as Brisker, but I think we should be able to get him, and then we don't have to worry about drafting a strong safety. We'll have a starter there, so him and Morik could be just fine together, but unfortunately, he wants to take this into the next day to think about it. So I assume we landed him after that. I would have to presume. Let's see. He did choose to come to Carolina. Okay, so that's good. So the only thing we got in free agency was Quinn Lake. So we got our strong safety problem addressed. We don't have a center, and we don't have linebackers, mainly. So D tackles are going to have to be fine for now. We still have Prinsley as well and Nick Gordon. So I feel good about letting those young edge rushers try to develop there. Corner wouldn't be too bad either. So a lot to still address. Quinn Lake's on IR right now, which I wasn't aware of, but he'll be back soon. So let's go see if we can get a little bit of that in free agency, and we could use, or in the draft, and we could use a wide receiver as well. So let's see before we're done with free agency completely. We go to tight end. Likely was here, went to Washington. So I'm okay with just letting the tight end we have still be the guy right now. And then cornerback, you have like Achilleo Witherspoon and some other guys. But yeah, I think, and then wide receiver, I don't think there was much here. So I think we're going to be drafting a wide receiver and linebackers and a center potentially. Although I would just like to sign a center, so that could be something we don't have to worry about. Anybody else here? Luke Wattenberg. I'll go after him. And that way we just have someone to start. I don't want to have to draft a center on top of everything else we need. If he chooses us, that is. And he does. Okay, so we got our center. All right, let's set up the draft now. Done enough yapping. The 20th overall pick, we do have some options here. So we can go take Arvell Reese at Ohio State to get some of our linebacker problems addressed. Or we could get the wide receiver 2 talent next to McMillan and make Bryce Young as good as possible with either Lemon or Jordan Tyson. I am thinking we go Jordan Tyson here. I think he is just too good of a prospect to pass up at pick 20. So I'm going to take Jordan Tyson here at 20th overall. 14 true value, drafted at 20. So him and McMillan should give Bryce Young plenty of options to throw the ball to. So I feel like that was a great place to go with this first round pick. AJ Harris has been a guy I've taken quite a bit in these videos, but we need another corner, and to me, he's just too good a value to pass up here in round 2. So 6'1" out of Penn State, get ourselves another corner opposite of JC Horn. I feel really good about that. 31 true value, drafted at 52. Hopefully we can land some kind of linebacker in round 3, because that is definitely still a big problem on this roster right now. So no good linebackers here at all in the 3rd round. And so I'm going to see if I can send him over to San Francisco for D Winters, who's 25 years old. He's a star dev, so I'm hoping we can turn him into an absolute stud here. So I'm going to send him this 3rd round offer for him, and they say no to that. So that already feels kind of rich. So I guess we'll move on to the next team, but that was definitely something I was considering. Unfortunately, Niners wanted nothing to do with that. So nobody really wanted to trade for a 3rd rounder when it came to a linebacker, but I'm going to go ahead and take Sertain Perkins here then in round 3. He's out of Ole Miss. He's 6'2", and he has elite speed. So that at least gives us something to be excited about with this prospect. So we'll see if this works out for a good pick. 168 true value, drafted at 84. Yeah, not great, which I kind of figured would be the case, which is why I was kind of trying to trade for one. Unfortunately, we took a chance. It didn't work, but he will probably still start no matter what, because our depth at linebacker right now is not very good. But that'll be a problem we have to address the next offseason even further. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup going into year 2. So we're going into year 2 with an 82 overall, 84 offense, and an 80 defense. We get to play the Saints in week 1. So here is what the lineup is looking like. So we got Bryce Young, Rico Dowdle, Tedero McMillan, Jordan Tyson, Jalen Coker, Xavier Legette, Horn, and Smith. We have Equanu, Lewis, Wanberg, Hunt, Moten, and Trimble as the offense. We're an 80% scheme. And then defensively, 90% as we have JC Horn, Princely, Derek Brown, Tershawn Ward, Nick Scorton, Mike Jackson, and AJ Harris with Mo Rig, Quentin Lake. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, our linebackers are not good. So Sertain Perkins was a bad pick, but at least he's a 73 overall out of the gate. We'll at least take that. We have Barton as well and Wallace. So some very young linebackers. Don't know how much that will hold us back. We made the playoffs last year. I'm leaving the playbooks the same. I want to see what Madden actually thinks of this team for a full season. So I will see you guys at the end. How good will Bryce Young be in his, 4th season at this point? So let's go find out what's going to happen. Well, we have made the playoffs again, this time at 9-8, but it looks like that was still good enough to win the division, so can't be too mad at that as we, here it is. So we finished up at 9-8 as the Falcons were the 2nd place team at 8-9 in this division. So we get the 4th seed because we won our division. So let's take a look at the stats. Offensively, 20th in the NFL, and then on the defensive side of the football, we were 7th in the NFL. So that's good. So we had 21-11 for Bryce Young. Not too bad. You had 10 touchdowns, 1,000 yards from Rico Dowdle. You had 1,000 yards from our rookie and Jordan Tyson, 800 from McMillan with 4 touchdowns. So a little bit of a step back, but all good. And then defensively, you had 10 sacks from Derek Brown, which I see. And then you had 6.5 from Scorton, 4 from Bobby Brown III, 2.5 from Leonard Barton, and 2.5 from Tershawn Wharton. So it's good to be in the playoffs for a 2nd year in a row. We'll definitely take that, but it is because our division is definitely so bad. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Although the Giants made it in at 9-2 as well. We get to play the Cowboys, which they do have some injuries. Ron Bland, Overshown, and Quinn Williams are all going to be out. And they did trade Kenny Clark as well in the simulation. So we should have a chance here. So let's go ahead and take on the Cowboys at home, and we'll see how this game goes. Last year, we did not play too well in the playoffs, so hopefully this time things will be different. So once again, back here at Bank of America Stadium, welcoming in the Dallas Cowboys. Can we get off to a much better start compared to the last one? Yeah, there we go. So we score already, which is a good sign. And we are scoring so far in the Cowboys defense, which is good. But they've put us down 7 now. Are we going to be able to get out of that? It's 24-10. And it doesn't look like that's going to go too well. So we are going to get off to a fast start and then slow down the rest of the game. So 2 playoff appearances, 2 games where we really didn't. Well, I guess the first one we were very competitive in that one because of our defense, but unfortunately our offense could not hang here. So we're going to go into year 3, and I think at this point, based off what we've seen in the playoffs, I do think playbook change on offense is needed because we have not put up points in playoffs at all. And with the wide receivers we have, I'm thinking Bengals playbook, honestly. I want to get Tyson and McMillan both heavily involved. That's my gut feeling to do. So I think you might see me run the Bengals playbook next year. We've made the playoffs twice now, but we have not shown really good things in the playoffs when we've been there. So we got to fix that. So the Packers and the Ravens met up in the Super Bowl as Rashawn Gary is your MVP in that Super Bowl. Ruben Bain, defensive rookie. Chris Brazzell is your offensive rookie of the year. Bernard is your defensive player. Puka is your offensive. Sean McDermott is your coach of the year. And Joe Burrow was your MVP. All right, so let's go ahead and get a re-signing stage. We do have a little bit of money to spend here. Hopefully nobody too significant as a free agent. Only 7 players to talk to. So you have Leggett, which is the 5th-year option, which I'm going to go ahead and accept. Mike Jackson, I'm going to go ahead and keep. I think I'd like to keep him as my 3rd corner. So that would be nice to have him still around. And everyone else, we can actually just go ahead and let go. So that feels good to have $45 million in cap space to work with. Definitely hoping for some linebackers in free agency. So let's take a look at our lineup outside of what we know we need, which is linebackers. But you have Bryce Young, who's an 80 overall. It looks like Taylor Moton may have retired on us, so we are going to need a right tackle. Tight end is still, definitely something we should be considering as well. So right tackle and tight end for the offense. And then defensively, wow, all these guys went to star dev. That's actually amazing. Man, do we need linebackers anymore? I might still go after one at least. Maybe get like an upgrade to Sam. D tackles, I still feel okay about. Yeah, that was actually quite surprising to see all these guys jump up to star dev, but definitely super helpful. We definitely needed that. So let's head up free agency and see what we can get. It's not as needed as I thought anymore with the dev trade jumps, but I still think I'd like to get one if I can. So 2 offers for me in free agency as we're going after Sam Laporta, which is an easy addition to this team as we do need a tight end, and that would make our offense even better. So Laporta, and I'm also going after DeMarvion Overshown as well. So just some linebacker depth there, and we do get Laporta, so of course we do not get Overshown, which is fine. I'm fine with that. Brian O'Neill is here in free agency, but we kind of ran out of money for him, unfortunately. So we get after Sam Laporta, and that might be all we can really do. I would consider Grover Stewart as well here just to kind of get a upgrade of the D tackles. So if he wants to come to Carolina, I would take that as well. So, okay, Sam Laporta and Stewart is the addition. So we still need to go to the draft. Still wouldn't mind drafting a linebacker, but it wasn't as needed as we thought. And we need a right tackle for sure. So right tackle is definitely going to be probably our 1st round pick so we can protect Bryce Young. But overall, this team looks pretty good already. So no complaints from me. Linebacker, right tackle, what we need to go get in that draft if we can. So as promised in the 1st round, we are going to be selecting Austin to be our right tackle. We need an upgrade there out of Ohio State. So welcome to the Panthers, my friend. He's going to be 151 in true value. And that, wow, okay. So that doesn't feel good to throw away our 1st round pick, but hopefully he's at least a good startable player. Or do we have to take another right tackle? That is not a great start to this draft. That sucks actually big time. So in round 2, I'm taking Josiah Trotter out of Missouri, if I can speak. And he's got solid speed, strength elite. So I'm just hoping he's going to be depth at linebacker for us. And 18 in true value, drafted 53. So that's at least a good pick. Our 1st round pick, not so good. So let's go to round 3 and see if we can maybe make up for that 1st round pick because we need a right tackle bad. So just in case the right tackle is bad, I'm going to select Evan, whoever his last name is, here out of Michigan and hope he's at least start or hit in dev. Oh, gosh. Okay. So I swung and missed on tackles twice in the draft. That's fantastic. Okay, well, hopefully there are at least good depth pieces, but that does not feel very good. It happens, but man, does that suck. Because if we would have gotten a right tackle to start, which we'll probably still start Austin, that would be incredible. But unfortunately, we may have swung and missed twice there. So here is the lineup going into year 3. So Bryce Young is starting under center. Once again, of course, we got Tyson and McMillan opposite of him with Hubbard, Brooks, and Rico Dowdle, Iquanu, Lewis, Wanberg, Hunt, and then, of course, our right tackle, which is a 71 overall. Laporta is at the tight end, so that is going to be a weakness on this offensive line. Defensively, we do have Trotter, who is pretty good. So do we start him at Sam linebacker right away? I definitely am considering it. We also have White as an edge rusher for depth. But I think I'm going to go to move Josiah Trotter to Sam, and he might start for us right away. I mean, he was a really good pick, so there's a chance that he will jump up big time for us. So let's go ahead and do that. Start him over Barton, and I think that would feel pretty good. So let's take a look and see if he is still like a 70. He's an 80 overall there. So yeah, that feels really good to have taken him. So of course, I've changed this to Bengals playbook, and I'm going to keep it at Carolina's playbook because our defense has been okay in the video. All right, Laporta added with McMillan, Tyson, Leggett, Coker. This should be a good offense with Bengals playbook being the team or being the playbook we are going to run. So I will see you guys at the end of year 3. So at the end of year 3, we finished up the season at 13-4. So that is what I'm talking about. And obviously, oh my gosh, look at McMillan. If you guys could see McMillan right now, holy moly, 2,000 yards on the season. JSN is arguably Honestly, you should just say it. He is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL, JSN, and he doubled what JSN did, McMillan, that is. But Bryce Young, Bengals playbook, it's OP, man. What can I say? So offensively, first in the NFL, as Bryce Young was first in almost every category right there. Defensively, not as good though. So 47-9, so we're already the Bengals all over again. 47-9 from Bryce Young, 5 touchdowns, 491 yards from Rico Dowdle. So obviously we didn't run the ball as much. We let Bryce Young just throw it like crazy. 28 touchdowns for McMillan. Are we serious? What the? Oh my gosh, that's insane. Okay. 11 touchdowns from Leggett and Tyson with 1,000. Laporta with 780 and 2 touchdowns. Rico Dowdle, 2 touchdowns as well. Oh my goodness. 2,000 yards and 28 touchdowns in a single season is insanity. That is crazy. And the fact that that just happened, that is actually wild. Okay. Defensively, we saw we were not as good though. So we are basically the Bengals right now. So it'll be interesting to see how much points we let up in the playoffs. But let's go ahead, get into this first playoff game as we get to play the Seattle Seahawks, and we'll see if we can't take them out as it finished up at 9-8. But this feels like a playoff game. We should finally be the favorites to win. So let's go see if we can do just that. So this is the first playoff game of the video where I actually feel like we should go out here and win confidently, but let's see if that does end up working out, as the Seahawks will go up 7-0 on us and our offense will respond with a field goal. Okay. We need more points than that though. We are down 4 right now, and we do not get any points outside of 3 in the first half. So our offense is just not showing up again in the postseason, but we do finally tie it. It's 10-10. The Panthers will go up 13-10 with 1:21 left on the clock. So whatever reason, our offense can't seem to get going in the playoffs. It's been 3 playoff games now, and we're in a very similar boat here. I thought a playbook change would change that, but it doesn't seem to be changing that, at least not yet. So I'm just going to scramble here for about however many yards this is. It is quite a bit, and that's a really big gain, so we needed that. So that's going to get us closer to our goal of getting to the end zone here, because obviously we need a touchdown. So I do have McMillan one-on-one press coverage. I'm going to throw Tyson on a go as well. Let's see if they do leave McMillan on an island. Honestly, he's not. But Tyson, what? Oh, this is going to be a late throw. And Tyson's going to come down with it. Okay, so he burns Witherspoon for the touchdown. And now our defense just needs to stop. And they do get the stop we're looking for. So that should be ball game. And we get out of here alive. So 17-13. I had to jump in to save the day. But a win is a win in the National Football League nonetheless. So let's go to divisional, and hopefully our offense can get freaking going in these playoffs, because it's been bad. It has not worked. Let's figure it out in divisional, please. The team we played in the playoffs in year 1, the Los Angeles Rams. So this should be a very interesting game, as that one was a very hard-fought battle that was low scoring. But this time we want to make it high scoring and put up some damn points. So don't get off to a fast start, which is what I wanted to see. And first quarter, no points at all for either team, but we do finally score in the second quarter. And so we're up 7 right now. Defense is playing well, which is good, but I still need my offense to show me something. And we do go up 2 possessions, 14-0. It is 7-14 now. Can we go up 21-7? 17-7 is still decent. It's 14-17, but only 1 timeout. Not enough time for them to come back. So we are going to beat the Rams 17-14. Again, a win is a win. It looked a little bit better there offensively, but we've only put up 17 points in these playoff games. So we're going to go to the NFC Championship game. It's going to get harder. So hopefully we have an offensive outburst in the championship game, because we definitely need it. It is time for our offense to wake up. We have to play well in this one. On the road in Lambeau, NFC Championship game. We've gone away with 17 points, but I don't know if you get away with 17 in this type of game. So we do get an interception from JC Horn with great field position. We are going to go up 7-0. So we take advantage of the interception. That's beautiful. And we're up 14-3. So far, so good. Love what I've seen so far, but we need more points than that. So 37-yard line, and that was good field position. We're up 17-3. So we've gotten away with 17 in the previous 2 games, but this time we're staying at 17, but our defense is playing really well. So we may be okay, and we just bleed the clock out. So 17, I guess, is the number. The Packers did not play well, so I thought we need more than 17 in this game to win, but it turns out I was wrong. 17, 3 games in a row gets us the victory. So let's go to the Super Bowl, and let's see if maybe we can win with 17 points again. But yeah, so far we have not had to put up more than 17 to win a playoff game, which is kind of crazy. So we have made it to the Super Bowl, as it is an interesting one. We get to play the Las Vegas Raiders. So we'll see how this one's going to go, as we put up 17 the previous 3 games. We put up 3 to start things off here. And I thought we were about to go up 10-0, but maybe here we do. There we go, 10-0. Don't know who the Raiders start. I think it's Ty Simpson. I think they drafted Ty Simpson. So it's 10-0 so far. There's a chance we put up 17 in this game again, but so far, do we find... Oh, dude, I would love to put up... Okay, it's 10-7 right now. So we do need a drive to put this game away. So let's see if I can do just that. So I'm going to come out here and try to bleed this clock out, and we are going to win a Super Bowl, hopefully. So true clock, we've only got 10 points right now. I need to turn off my mouse because it's about to die on me, but that's besides the point. So let's just focus on run this football now and get something going here. So that is going to be a beautiful start to this run as we do get out to almost the 50-yard line. So Pete Carroll uses his first timeout. Surprised that the Raiders have kept him this long, but looks like it's worked out for them. I'm going to do some play action here, throw them off a little bit. Let's see if we can't pick up another first down here. As no, nothing, absolutely nothing. They cover that really well. So that's not a timeout they have to use, which is kind of unfortunate. So 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. That was worth a shot, but they had that absolutely boxed. Going to Chuba Hubbard here. Give me a good block, and we're going to get another good run here for a first down. And that is going to be their, well, this will be their last timeout, although they won't be able to get it off before the 2-minute warning. So it probably will be another timeout for them after the 2-minute warning. So we're going back to Rico Dowdle. Not going to get as much here as that is going to be the 2-minute warning. So they do have a timeout. So we do have to get one more first down to fully say this game is over. So let's see if we can get that to happen. So we have some interesting route trees out here. Leggett, McMillan, Tyson. But let's see if we can't just get Laporta on the zig route. That's going to be my first read. Or we'll look at Hubbard as well. Laporta probably could have won the Hubbard there, but we're going to pick up 3 yards there. So nothing crazy. All right, now we'll go to stick and nod as we're going to go for this first down. They're playing press coverage on the outside with McMillan. So if they leave him one-on-one, I'm taking the shot. They're going to leave Tyson one-on-one. Similar to the other game, this to put the game away, and Tyson is going to make it happen. And wouldn't you know it, what do we have in this game? If we make the extra point, it's going to be 17 again. So, and not to be confused with the movie, by the way. I don't even know why I said that. But, all right, that is going to be the end of it. We get to kneel this out, 17-14. We put up 17 in all 4 of these playoff games and won every single one of them. That's actually absurd. Well, that is going to be a beautiful way to end this one off for me. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Panthers are a fun team right now. I hope they continue to rise, but I will see you all in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace.